Zero bonus episode number 7. First bonus episode of 2022 starts now. I'm your host, Brandon Davis, joined today by Jenna Anderson.
Hey, everybody. Two things. I love how many people have told us that this is their first live show. That makes me so happy. Second of all, Jim is about to do backflips, and I cannot wait to see it. So happy to be here.
Welcome to the program. We got Aaron Perrine in the virtual building.
What's good? The man on the moon. Let's get into it.
I love that. And I don't know if you guys know this, but we have a Moon Knight fan who is actually Moon Knight canon in Marvel Comics, Jim Viscardi. Jim, how you feeling today?
So how about that trailer? Huh? How about that little slice of heaven? How about that little slice of heaven that was
Jim is good,
perfect.
Everybody. Jim is good. We're going to spend the next half hour with. Listen, the plan for this is for it to be a half hour long. If you're listening to this in podcast form and you look at that number and it is much longer than that, and I'm a liar right out of the gate, I don't know what's going to happen here. We're planning to run through some Moon Knight stuff with you. The trailer is out there now. We're going to break down the trailer, share our reactions, all that stuff. Probably break down a little bit of comic stuff for you. That's why we got Jim here, because he's, I don't know if you know this, he has Moon Knight tattooed the size of a Ben Affleck tattoo across his back. And we're going to break it all down. So that's what this bonus episode is. Welcome, first-time viewers. It's going to be something. I hope you're ready for it. We're going to go around with reactions, and without further ado, I mean, we got to just start there. Jim Viscardi, go ahead.
Come on. First of all, we get that poster, that beautiful poster that is easily, far and away, one of the best Marvel posters that they've put out. Easily the best of the Phase 4 posters. Like, look, I got a little bit of bias, sure, whatever, but show me a better poster, okay? Especially for a teaser, all right? It's grimy, it's dirty, it's just gorgeous. And then they drop this baby on us, all right? It's one of those things where this trailer, look, Marvel knows how to cut trailers, okay? But I think what this trailer does, in a way that all the Marvel trailers do, it sets the tone right off the bat. And that, we immediately see how different of a show that this is going to be. And I can still feel it just running right through me. It is a the fact that we get Khonshu in this thing just like blew my mind. Was not expecting that. I thought they were going to save and all that. They actually showed us a lot in this trailer that I am just like, we're going to go through it all, but like, I'm ready. Let's go. March 30th. Let's go.
I think Jim liked the trailer, guys. What do you think? Aaron, what's your reaction to Jim's reaction to the trailer?
It's everything I could have hoped. You should have been there. So Saturday, when they announced that the trailer was going to happen during this game, I get an @ here at like 7 a.m. Like, Aaron's still shaking the cobwebs out. You know, we're getting ourselves going. I'm talking about Bob Saget, and it's like, drop everything. Moon Knight is happening. And I was like, oh God, it's the day we've all prepared for.
So you know, that also happened. We have like a Fortnite squad group text with like me and Jim and a couple, like 3 other people. And there was like 9 messages before I woke up of Jim like bold writing my name in the group chat. Like, Brandon, wake up, Moon Knight.
I mean, but like that suit.
Like Don Vito in my text messages.
Let's talk about the suit for a second. I mean, that suit looks so good.
Suit looks great.
Suit looks great. And like, we all saw that leaked photo, which is basically the shot at the end of this trailer that, you know, where he kind of turns around, and it looked like it was going to be way more mummy-ish than I think it is now that the VFX has cleaned it up a little bit. And
I don't look at leaked photos. I don't know what you're talking about. Aaron, what'd you think of the trailer?
I really enjoyed it. This is going to be a lot of fun for me, because most of these Marvel shows have bearing in some comics that I'm more like sort of well versed in, and you get to go in clean. I'm sure Jim would love to go into this all clean if he could and experience it all again from the beginning. So I'm going to live that life and listen to his stuff. Also, my man Kid Cudi
Dude,
from my very high
great
school
track.
being in the background
wow.
is so nice. It's so wonderful. Oh, so good. I'm excited. Let's get I want to watch it right now. Marvel, just put it out right now. This game sucks. The game that this is attached to stinks. So like give it to me. Give it to me right now.
That's right. Jenna, what'd you think of the trailer?
I just, first and foremost, I need to be in more group chats, I guess, because I just had a nice, pleasant Saturday morning. Woke up at my own, like, slept in a little bit.
It sounds like you're
oh,
doing
cool.
it right.
Moon Knight trailer on Monday. That's so cool. Let me just continue on with my day. I still cannot believe, like, we have footage for this show. I still cannot believe this show is happening. I lived through the days of Age of Apocalypse. I still cannot believe that Oscar Isaac is agreeing to be in a superhero thing again, much less that it is this one. Like, I'm wrapping my super yaki Oscar Isaac shirt for this occasion. Like, I am so happy about how happy he is to be in this role, and just the hype leading up to this trailer and the hype once the trailer came out, like getting to see like people like Aaron, and like I've been chatting with Nicole, who works on our staff and is so excited to dive into Moon Knight stuff, to be at this point in comic book media where we are all so jazzed about a Moon Knight adaptation is just so surreal and so cool. And I love the trailer. The trailer surprised me in so many ways that we're going to get into, while also not showing a whole lot at the same time. So I'm very on board.
I also love the trailer, unsurprisingly. I'm a little skeptic of the whole it sets the tone of the show thing. I'm yet to buy into that because I remember the Age of Ultron trailer really looked dark. Movie wasn't so dark. My scars never fade. So I think
there are so many flashing light reveals in this trailer. It's going to be creepy as AF.
Yeah, but then it's probably going to make me laugh immediately too. Like, let me be scared for more than 4 seconds. That's all I'm asking. Listen, I'm just playing devil's advocate because we all loved it. Somebody's got to come out here and like play the opposite side here. It's me. I hated the trailer. It was terrible. I'm just kidding. I thought it was great. It's not like we might have another scenario where the first show of the year ends up being the best show of the year. Like, I loved Loki, but WandaVision is the one we talk about the most. It looks like Moon Knight might just be that. It's so hard to imagine She-Hulk, Secret Invasion, What If season 2, if that comes out. I don't know. It's gonna be tough for Moon Knight to hold on if What If comes out. But I really think there's a chance Moon Knight becomes the best show of 2022, and maybe that's because it's the only one I've seen the trailer for. But this one looks like it does look dark and like menacing, and the costume looks brilliant. Like it seems like they've nailed it. And I don't know, we might be getting ahead of ourselves. We love to hype stuff here, but the trailer is fantastic. There's just really, it's hard to even play devil's advocate. So we'll see. What else is coming this year? We have
I was gonna say, you're already spoiling Wednesday's episode where we're ranking all of our anticipation for this year.
Yeah, so I feel and it's a good thing we didn't do that, because now that this trailer's out, I feel like Moon Knight just jumped ahead of a bunch of stuff for a lot of people. It's like, well, if Secret Invasion had a trailer, maybe it would have a chance. But like, spoiler alert, Moon Knight's probably going to be higher on my list now. But yeah, on Wednesday's episode of Phase Zero, Season 2, Episode 2, we will be ranking our MCU 2022 hype rankings. We're going to be ranking our rankings. I don't know. Anyway, back to Moon Knight. All right. So Jim, we got personalities. Talk about them.
So this is interesting. It starts off with Stephen Grant, which is traditionally the rich persona
the CEO
for Moon Knight. Right? So this is like, it's the persona that funds all of Moon Knight's stuff. He is a movie star, basically. And in this, he is what seems to be a mild-mannered museum worker, which is fine. That's okay. And so, because we actually just got the synopsis for the show, which is new. So I'm going to read it, and I want to break it down a little bit. It says, the series follows Stephen Grant, a mild-mannered gift shop employee. He's not even a museum employee. He's a gift shop employee who becomes plagued with blackouts and memories of another life. Stephen discovers he has dissociative identity disorder and shares a body with a mercenary, Mark Spector. As Stephen/Mark's enemies converge upon them, they must navigate their complex identities while thrust into a deadly mystery among the powerful gods of Egypt. So there's a lot here that seem to be a little bit divergent, right? Like I said, Stephen Grant was not a gift shop employee, Aaron, you're raising your hand. Go ahead. What you got? What can I answer?
I'm just wondering, is the sort of this I would imagine this is all Europe, right? This is probably not set in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's I wanted to think like that was the Museum of Natural History, but in New York, but I don't, because like we just saw that shot. That does not look like New York. Double-decker bus. It's got to be London, because Stephen Grant has the accent, and so again, it's another kind of difference a little bit here on that. And like the big question around all this, and we'll get to a little bit, is like, are we only going to get the two? Like, there's no mention of Jake Lockley here, which is Moon Knight's cabbie persona, the one who
I'm trying to see the cab driver.
He basically plays amongst the vagrants, and he's like the street level source that helps Moon Knight out in many of his adventures. And like we get glimpses here, like I think glimpses of Mark a little bit, not a terrible amount, but like even when he's confused at this moment that we're watching, it's really it's an interesting see how thing that they'll play with here. So it's, and then we know like there is another identity that I think we can count as an identity. That is the identity of Mr. Knight, right? And we saw that in the teaser where he's got the with his gloves up against the red bus. Mr. Knight is very much a different personality for Moon Knight, but is not one of the civilian names for Moon Knight, if that makes any sense. Usually when Moon Knight is in costume, he's in costume as Mark. And so like I said, there's a lot right out of the gate with just what we're given in the very beginning that seem to be some changes that diverge a bit from what we know in the comics. But like, look, they've done this before. Like even when we get to the villain aspect of it, right? Which I don't know if you want me to go into just yet, Brandon, but like there's also some changes there.
Well, actually, I mean, that was my next thing. If you watch this with subtitles, which is exactly how we know which personalities we're getting in this trailer, it shows you that Ethan Hawke is playing Arthur Harrow, but it seems like they're probably merging that character with the Sun King from comics, and those are two different characters in the books. But I'm not even going to bother wasting my breath when we got like, why would nobody wants to hear from me today? This is Jim's day. I'm going to let him
So Dr. Arthur Harrow, it's a weird thing to put out there. I don't know if this is just a red herring kind of thing that Marvel's putting out there just because we don't know. Look, everything is pointing around Ethan Hawke's character playing the villain, the Sun King, which was a character that was introduced by Max Bemis in Moon Knight 188, who basically starts a religion based over Ra. The sun god of Egypt, and so that is very clearly what we see in this trailer, right? Like we got people bowing down to him, and like he has said that he's kind of he's playing a god kind of character. The Arthur Harrow bit is interesting because he showed up in Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu, which was a 3 to 4 issue miniseries that happened sometime in the mid 80s, where the character is just like he's a surgeon / scientist who did a bunch of just really weird evil scientist stuff, and like then that was it, and then you never saw him again. So I think that's a thing where we're going to they may mush some stuff together, because there again, like I just don't like the name. To me feels like a red herring when everything else seems to be pointing to Sun King here. And if that's if we do get Sun King, there's a very, very good chance that we get another Moon Knight villain that pops up in here. But I mean, we'll see, I guess.
In that time, while Jim was explaining all that, I just bought Moon Knight number 188 on eBay. I just ordered it. So we're back. All right. I think we're going to see one of those. I'm hoping it's not one of those Disney Plus tropes that we have run into where like a full reveal is saved for episode 6. Like, please just I don't know. I don't really love that. I think saving Kingpin for 6 and Hawkeye, saving like all the stuff for the full costume reveal or something. Like, I'm glad we're getting the costume reveal out of the gate. That seems different already. So I just hope that this is one that we kind of have a more clear picture through and through. And it's more of a let's get over the problem in the finale instead of let's reveal the finale and solve it and leave you for maybe season 2 in the finale episode. All right. Khonshu's in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hold on, Jim, before we get to you. Jenna, Aaron, anything you'd like to say about Khonshu before we pass the mic
effects
off?
look so cool. Like, I'm very curious the creature design of this whole show, because I know the teaser that came out on Saturday when he's punching the one creature in the bathroom. As I joked on Twitter, it just looks like a very gaunt version of Weasel from the Suicide Squad. I'm very, very curious to see like how far they go with the creepiness and the visual effects while still being on a Disney streaming service. Like, that is just going to be very cool to see.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if Khonshu's going to talk.
Yeah.
Like, do you think like he has to talk, right?
Somebody, they're
who's
gonna
playing?
get what's the guy's name who played Crow in Eternals? What's his name?
Yeah.
Skarsgård.
Yeah, Skarsgård. He can come back and just do it. And they paid him for a lot to.
They actually have Leonardo DiCaprio and CGI to play Khonshu.
It's
would love.
Please,
again.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That is a joke. Don't tweet it. I'm just kidding.
I would love nothing more than for like Tony Todd to voice Khonshu. Like, that would be
dope.
Absolutely perfect.
Best known for his work as Venom in the PlayStation 5 game. Right? Yes, okay. But yeah, I agree. Khonshu looks great.
No, but I mean, like,
hold on.
All right,
I cut off Aaron. I'm sorry. I want to let Aaron finish.
I was just gonna pair something from Adam. Like, Adam Barnhart said on Twitter that this is really the difference between Marvel TV and Marvel Studios, right? And they just went for it. They're just going for it with these. They're less and less afraid of the comic roots of these characters and these stories, and they're not afraid to put something on TV that people would be like, huh? And in the past, Marvel TV would have just had some guy in a 3-piece suit doing his best Morpheus, his best Yahya Abdul-Mateen II version of him sitting in the chair talking to poor Oscar Isaac. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of amazing we're here. The entire thing has a vibe of I can't believe we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you imagine this came out in like 2005, like how different it would be and how wrong they probably would have got the character?
There is
as Khonshu.
I also I will just say I love the decision to go with Steven. Like, I am not a Moon Knight expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I love that it doesn't seem like we're starting at square one with him. We're starting at like square 2 or 3 in terms of like where he has gone as a character, and then we're gonna learn with him where he was before, which I think is so cool. I'm always frustrated, with a couple exceptions, when like an origin story or a first appearance of a character is just their origin and they're at square one. I want to kind of have that stuff baked in, and I'm glad that we're at that point with this, because I feel like it's gonna really pay off.
I'm thinking maybe he works in the museum as a means to be the cause of discovering his own roots through artifacts in that museum.
Ooh.
Right? The museum that he works has Egypt labeled all over it. So I'm thinking alligator Loki Stan, Stephen Grant, who has an alligator as his phone background, is working in a museum, and he's going to find artifacts. He's probably going to have an episode where he sneaks around, and as Damon's Dreams just said in the comments, we're going to have a Night at the Museum episode. Everything's going to come to life. Like, actually, no, but actually, like, things are going to come to life from his perspective. And it's going to be nuts. This shows, I just got even more excited. 72 days.
I know.
Well, it'll be interesting to see where because they show Khonshu, and seemingly down the hallway it was Steven. And so traditionally it's Mark who gets his powers from Khonshu. Mark is injured, in battle kind of thing. Arm crawls over to a statue of Khonshu, and Khonshu makes him his fist, and giving him, his strength and abilities and all that other stuff. And so it will be interesting to see if they change that a bit, to see, it's funny because if you watch the trailer, there's two things I just noticed as it replayed. When he's walking down the dark hallway and you see the reflection in the mirror, you actually do see a statue of Ra hanging out in the back. And so there is our Ra representation there to give us the connection that we need to the red jumpsuit wearing Sun King, which is an outfit that the Sun King wears in the comics. So there's the connection that more evidence to Ethan Hawke playing.
Well, we were robbed, absolutely robbed of my favorite character from 2021 suiting up, Jack Duquesne. So
well, and so, but then there's other things you do see in this trailer. Basically, all the shots of Oscar Isaac wearing what looks like a brown bomber jacket with the hoodie seem to be him as Mark, at least in some point. And so that will be very like that. Like we've gotten glimpses.
Can you lay out who Sun King is? Because
yes,
that's one thing the comment section has been really appreciating. And somebody just asked who is the villain. I'm not familiar with the comics. Our theory here is that Ethan Hawke's Arthur Harrow is going to be a comic character who gets merged with Sun King, and I'll let Jim explain who that is.
So basically, the character Sun King does not get he actually in the comic does not get a name. He's actually just referred to as Patient 86 when he gets transferred to Ravencroft, the same Ravencroft that Carnage was at, and a lot of the other Marvel villains go to. And so it's one of those things where I believe, it becomes. He meets Mark Spector, and Mark basically lets it drop that he like talks to Khonshu basically, and enduring that he becomes Patient 86 becomes incredibly obsessed with Amun-Ra, and Amun-Ra obviously in the War of the Gods has huge beef with Khonshu, and so like there's a lot there where basically he breaks out, has these fire powers. There is also Mark's girlfriend Marlene is involved in this. He uses her to lure Mark out. He basically takes over an island and renames the island, I think, like the Isle of Ra, and basically like burns it almost all down in the story. But a lot of it is really the real beef is based on a higher level in the Egyptian god part. And so that's where I think this is going to get really interesting, and where we're going to see some really trippy stuff, which just looks great. And then in the moment where Moon Knight is beating the hell out of the weasel looking thing, there have been in the comics Anubis jackal looking things that show up in the Jeff Lemire and Greg Smallwood run, that which is one trippy of a run, but basically it's they help transport Mark's kind of to and from different realms and planes of things. And so I don't necessarily think we're going to get that, but given all the Egyptian stuff going on, it makes perfect sense that these things are going to pop up in the show.
So this is almost certainly going to end with like Mark, Steven, and Jake kind of learning how to be okay with being all of them, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think this will be the journey of it looks like Steven's going to be the main character, the main point of view through this, coping or learning how to manage his dissociative identity disorder, and basically getting all of his identities to play along and go beat up bad guys.
Mm-hmm. All right. I mean, that's we have we've answered the questions that I wrote down here. Who's he punching? Why is there a new jacket? Where's Jake Lockley? Probably coming soon. Will they introduce Bushman?
Bushman's an interesting one because I think he is probably the most famous of the the Moon Knight, rogues gallery. Moon Knight does not have an extensive rogues gallery, and so Bushman in the comics shows up a lot. And he, another mercenary that rivaled with Mark, basically had his face torn off at some point. But
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I hate that. But Sun King ends up basically recruiting Bushman, because Bushman is the when facing Moon Knight, there's only one person who knows all his secrets, to get to basically go up against him. And so if he shows, if he shows up, that's probably a good way to introduce him. If anything, I'm hoping he shows up and is more set either as like a season 2 setup or something else. But I think also, the whole other part of this, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Eternals post-credit scene with Dane and Blade that we know. Where do we know where that takes place?
I think we have to assume it's in England, because that's where Dane has been the entire movie.
That's where right.
Yeah. That's what I'm like. As soon as I could tell that this was set in London, I'm like, oh, it's all coming together. Like, I would not be surprised if like season 1 ties into that as well in some sort of way, because it's like they're all in London. They have
if this giant celestial in the sky somehow gets noticed by everyone else who noticed it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That's a little less excusable than Spider-Man and Hawkeye. But yeah, no, I agree. I think it seems like we could be getting to a Midnight Suns type deal.
I hope so.
It's not a party until Captain Carter pulls up in a van with Blade and freaking Dane already there.
Yep.
Where's Ghost Rider?
That's it. Need it. But yeah, and so like I said, like there's a lot to digest in this little tiny teaser, a lot to enjoy. Look,
it's our first MCU show of 2022. If you guys have questions right now on the live show, you can drop them in the chat. We're obviously all pretty hyped, but none of us compare to Jim Viscardi. So this is your chance, a free Q&A. We won't even charge extra. You can drop a question in the chat. We'll answer a couple here as we wind down the show. But I think this trailer alone, like, it's possible that She-Hulk or Miss Marvel or Secret Invasion have a trailer that gets me hyped like this. I'm just having trouble imagining it, because I thought this trailer was just brilliant. It's so different. It's so gritty. Like, it really is not like any of the other MCU shows we saw last year. We had 5, right? Or 6. Like, we had a lot. And this was probably one of the best. WandaVision had some great trailers. But yeah. All right, what do we got?
Oh, I see a lot of recommended reading for this. And so look, it's I would start with the 2013 run drawn by Declan Shalvey and go through that entire thing. Go through the Jeff Lemire stuff, go through the Brian Wood stuff, and go and you'll end up at where the Max Bemis stuff, which introduces the Sun God and all of that. That'll probably give you the most comprehensive who the hell are all of Moon Knight's personalities, what's going on with Khonshu, what's going on with like the gods aspect of it, and then from there read the stuff that Jed MacKay is doing. That there's 6 issues in the most recent stuff. Basically takes everything from 2013 to basically 2020-ish, and repackages in a really, really cool way that I don't think they're going to take for this show, but is a great place to continue reading. Then, if you like Moon Knight as a superhero, then read the Mark Spector Moon Knight series, which was the late 80s, early 90s run of Moon Knight, which is basically Moon Knight doing superhero, like straight up superhero stuff. It's less on the Egyptian god lore stuff, way more heavy on him just interacting with a good chunks of the MCU. There is also the OG run, right? The Moon Knight #1, Doug Mensch and Bill Sienkiewicz, which gives you, which introduces all of these characters. Like, look, we don't even there's a character that is not even mentioned at all in this. We don't even know who's incredibly important to the show. Frenchie is basically Moon Knight's Alfred. to use a Batman reference, right? Like, he's the one who gets Mark out of all of the stupid trouble he gets himself into. And so like there's no sign of him here. There's also no sign of the giant crescent moon shaped flying ship that Moon Knight has. They're probably waiting for that.
It might be a lot for the first season.
Right. Yeah. That may be a lot for the first season, but like that, I mean, that's the classic stuff that introduces you to all this stuff. And then there's the Civil War era Moon Knight stuff, which is pretty dark. So like if you want some dark Moon Knight stuff, that's the stuff to read. And then then there's the Vengeance of Moon Knight run, which is just the most beautiful looking of the runs in my opinion. Starts off with some gorgeous Jerome Pena art, and basically sets him off against the Sentry in like one of the first arcs in that, which is another great run. Look, there are in total 200-ish plus issues of Moon Knight, so it's not a ton to kind of just barrel through if you want, but I would
go
definitely
buy them all.
I would definitely start with the 2013 run, go all the way to the current stuff, or at least till the very end of the Max Bemis run, and that should give you everything you need. And then if you want to see Jim Viscardi in your Moon Knight comics, you just in that 2013 run, issue 4, page 2, you'll see me there.
There he is. The humble. We're gonna have to hear about that for the next 3 months, everybody.
I know.
3 months.
I will say, for those looking to for the speculation nuts out there or whatever, the first appearance of Mr. Knight is actually not Moon Knight #1 by Ellis and Shalvey. It's actually Secret Avengers 19. Warren Ellis did an arc of Secret Avengers, and that's where Mr. Knight gets introduced. So if you want to go on eBay and go find a copy of that to own the first appearance of Mr. Knight, that's where you're going to go.
One day my day will come to talk about Nova like this.
I know. I was just thinking, I'm like, with She-Hulk and Batgirl, I'm going to be this on, and I cannot wait for that day to come.
Oh my God. Those are characters with a lot more. Like,
I'm ready.
Stories. Oh my God. I know you never come not ready. And it's amazing. All right. Well, listen, I think we got to wrap up today's bonus episode number 7. I think Jim will be doing Moon Knight customer service on Twitter at Jim Viscardi for the rest of his life. He is officially an Oscar Isaac stan account.
That's right.
If we go to Comicbook.com/Marvel, because if we find anything else like this, we will, of course, the writers and everybody will be covering it. And Jim, we should probably get a little graphic made, a little Moon Knight recommended reading, so we can tweet it out from the
we'll put one together for sure.
And get it all going. But this was super fun. It was better than the football game, which was not really fun, especially if your name's Kyler Murray. RIP that paycheck. And that's our show. Aaron, any final words for you today?
Streams. Jim recommended all of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that's the whole graphic. Moon Knight 1 through
whatever. I gave you the order to read it in. Okay. Yes, read all of it.
Jim, I just ordered one book and it was $48.
$48.
Look, if you bought it, if you bought it an hour ago, it would have been cheaper.
I was going to ask Jim. I know you were trying to collect them like a couple of years ago. How many of those do you have now?
I am only. Let me see. So here's the thing, right? So I made a rule. I make these a game. I've done it with Daredevil. I have a full run of Daredevil doing it this way. My game that I played with myself was when I can only buy issues in person. I can't buy them online. I can't do anything because if I wanted to, I'd spend $1,000 and I have all the issues.
That's how I was with Hot Toys before the panoramic started.
And so I fortunately I was able to finish the entire original 1980s run. I finished it, I guess, 3 Comic-Cons ago. A bit. I have almost an entire run of Vengeance of Moon Knight. I'm only missing about 3 issues there. The Mark Spector Moon Knight run is much bigger than any of the other runs, and I'm only probably missing about 15 or so out of the 60-ish issues that are there. And then out of the Civil War era, which is ironically harder to find, missing about 10 or so issues there. So I still have a ways to go. Hopefully they don't get too much more expensive. I was really hoping obviously cons would be back. New York Comic Con has always traditionally been very good to me when it comes to my Moon Knight hunting. And so hopefully we'll be able to get out and do that again. And we'll do that. But yeah, I mean, like I'm almost there. I didn't even mention the Brian Michael Bendis Moon Knight run,
now. I know.
which was which is a good run, but almost completely it sits in its own bubble of a thing. It's a run where Mark Spector's other personalities were Spider-Man, Captain America, and Wolverine. I mean, it looked great. Alex Maleev on the art duties. It was fantastic, but I don't think any of the show is going to pull.
Yeah, the comment section just knows this is my favorite comment section.
I
Jim,
know.
what's the most expensive comic you own?
Well,
it's Moon Knight's first appearance.
That's right.
Wow.
Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night 32.
How much is that going for before the trailer?
Yeah.
Before the trailer, I mean, this is like a $3,000 book.
Mm.
Jim, where do you live?
I only pulled it out for the show. It goes back in the gun safe.
The gun safe. My God. He lives in Tennessee when?
We're learning
there
much.
it is.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you, BD. I get a box. I guess that's what I'll say last. I get a box from Shop Disney, and I'm like, what did I buy? Like a full Mark Spector moment. Like, I don't remember shopping on Shop Disney at 3 a.m. and eating ice cream. Like, what happened? And I open it up, and it's freaking Sam. So thank you, BD. When we open it, we get to the new house. I have more shelves. We're gonna put them up. I get a whole bunch of comments like, your house is just one big void, isn't it? And I'm like, it is. It is. No problem. Oh, and the water keg. The water keg is good. The water keg is good. I take a picture and tell the people at Smart Water, thank you for the water keg.
I went and commented on there and thinking, I was like, yo, can you guys send me one too?
I'll get my people to call and hook Brandon up. He needs some water. He needs some hydration.
Oh my gosh.
He needs some water. All right. Doesn't sound as good as he needs some milk. All right, that's it. That's up to Aaron. Thank you for being an awesome co-host, and that's why I sent that your way. But all right, Jim, try to get some sleep tonight. We do have to work tomorrow. It's a school night, so try 72 more days. We will get there. This. See, I told you we were never going to finish this at 30 minutes clean.
No.
But I hope it was as fun for you as it was for us. All right, we'll be back Wednesday with our 2022 hype rankings. It'll be super fun. I hope you all have a good time. Lizzie Rock 17, you shouldn't have said, wait, I have a question. You should have just sent a question. And that is where we have to end the show. All right, see y'all on Wednesday.